Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson, and we are in week 8. Not week 8, episode 8, on the 8th rung of the peaking ladder. And we're going to be talking about training and cardio. So we work through all the macronutrients, water, sodium, all of that kind of stuff. And Adam, I think, again, you and I agree on most of this stuff. But you already alluded to earlier in the series that you may need to adjust training a little bit based on somebody's previous week schedule. We've got travel to worry about, but I know you and I both definitely do not stack all of the training at the beginning of the week to, quote, deplete somebody and then give them total rest at the end. So explain why we don't do that.
Yeah, the reason you don't do that is because you deplete glycogen out of the muscle when you use it. So for me, I usually control the intensity. And when I send my peak week documents, it talks about not training to failure and just, train to get a good pump and then go home. And you also do want some glycogen turnover as well, so you do want to train all week. You don't necessarily just want to rest all week. I've seen a lot of that recently where people are completely resting like the last 3 days. And I might implement some rest for travel, but not necessarily rest all week. So when they do travel, I might have them walk as soon as they, get settled in, just to sweat and get some glycogen turnover as well. But another thing too is I don't want to have somebody training maybe their smallest body part, like let's say for a bodybuilder, chest, a day or two before the contest as just the chest day. Now I might have them pump their upper body up a little bit, but I don't want to deplete so much glycogen out of their smallest muscle group. Now, will I visibly see a change? I don't know, but scientifically it makes sense to just, if someone has a small chest, not to deplete that muscle, 2 days before the show.
I think there's a lot of variability in people's body types as well. You mentioned one of the greatest uses of training during the week is just that glycogen turnover. You're using glycogen, you're replenishing it, which keeps water moving in instead of being stagnant outside the muscle cell. So you can get that little filminess if you got too much rest. But now if you got a really fast metabolism, then rest may be appropriate because your body is definitely going to be absorbing water through that glycogen or glucose usage. And so for you to rest for a day or so and then really have that explosive response while you're pumping up backstage, that might be helpful. Somebody else with a little bit of a slower metabolism really needs to be using that glucose, or they're pulling in some of that subcutaneous glucose back into the muscle cell, mitochondria, to be used. So there's definitely a little bit of a play, almost client to client, Adam, and sometimes I will work some larger muscle groups, Friday before lightly, just so they're warmed up and we have that glycogen turnover. But other times I'll definitely want them to rest just a little bit, maybe the last day, and then maybe taper back carbs, not go quite as high. But the one thing that you really have to be careful of is just not to exhaust yourself, because I know you can get extremely flat. A lot of people are in a new city, big city, at some of these bigger shows. They're in Vegas or New York or somewhere. So they're out there just having fun Friday before the show, walking around, and don't realize they've just put 5 miles on their legs, and then it really flattens them out systemically the next day.
Absolutely. A good thing, Nationals is later this coming weekend, so my girls probably won't hit the stage till 1 or maybe even 4 o'clock. So a lot of them, when appropriate, are doing some activity that morning just to get some more turnover and just lose a little bit of that film from, resting or not training as much the day prior.
And some of it's just cardio. Sometimes all you need is a 15 or 20-minute light cardio to burn a couple extra 100 calories, get your body temperature up, and that can make a big, big difference. So it doesn't always have to be just scheduling the exact right, workout days at the right time and the right intensity. Sometimes you can just monitor energy balance and energy expenditure by how much cardio you're doing. So thank you for that, Adam. And guys, we are rolling into the last couple episodes. We're going to get down to the fine-tuning elements to finish out this Peaking Ladder series. So we will catch you next time.